This might be the ultimate video key light for content creators. This is the Aputure 300c. It is bright, color temperature adjustable, full RGB, has versatile mounting options, and is packed with a ton of features. Today, we'll be breaking it down and talking about the pros and the cons, all to find out if it's the right light for you. So before we get started, I just want to say that this video is not sponsored by Aputure, however they did send me the light for review. With that said, these are all of my honest thoughts on the light, and this video does have a sponsor, which is me. More on that later. So let's do a quick overview of this light. It's super bright. That's really one of the main selling points. It has a 300 watt output. It's also color temp adjustable from 2500 all the way to 7500 Kelvin. And it's tint adjustable. It's also full RGB and has a ton of built-in effects. The light is super versatile thanks to the bowens mount. It can go from being a large, soft light source to a very controlled light source, just by changing what's mounted to it. So in the past, I've actually been pretty against using apps with lights because they were just always so buggy. However, these Aputure lights are changing the game. The app is working so good. It's almost flawless. And pretty much any time I go to use the light, I just open up the app. It takes just a few seconds and it connects and I can start using it. It responds instantaneously and it stays connected. I have not had an issue with it yet. So we've talked through a few of the features of the light, but what I want to talk about now is sort of the real world application for content creators and why you may want to consider picking up a light like this. Because of the brightness of this light, there's a few benefits. For example, when you're capturing thumbnails, having a bright light source and being able to shoot at these higher aperture values will introduce a lot more clarity and sharpness into your images, which in turn will allow you to have an easier experience editing your thumbnails. So one of the reasons a light like this is super useful is because of how bright it is. Let me show you a real world example. Right now I'm composing this short form vertical shot and it's got this window looking to the outside. I want to be able to see outside and see everything going on. The only way I'm able to do this is because of this light. Without the light, everything's super dark. So I would have to adjust my exposure in camera to compensate that. But then the window gets all blown out, which is just not the look that I want. So instead, I'll turn the light on and I'll be able to lower my exposure in camera. And now everything is properly exposed and I can see outside, which is just a really useful way that you can use one of these lights. Another way I've been using this light with my own content is to produce short form vertical videos. I've been doing a lot more of these just simply shooting on my phone. Phones have smaller sensors and smaller sensors need more light. Because this light is so bright, it really helps you get the most out of your smartphone. I really like to just place a big Softbox Lantern onto the light and just shine it super bright and light up the whole room. It gives this really nice soft effect and makes capturing B-roll and things like that really easy. Another way I've been using this light is just to get some really creative looks. Again, because of the bowens mount, it's so flexible, so I can simply take that Softbox Lantern off and place something on it like a projector snoot and get all sorts of patterns and shapes that are still super bright and fully customizable with color and effects. So it's really like I don't have any limitations. I can just do anything I want to with this light, which as a content creator, I like that. I like being able to have an idea and having a tool that can help me accomplish that idea. Being able to pair this light with other Aputure lights is really what makes this thing shine. I've been able to create some really unique visuals using this. And it's been super fun because the app is so easy to use and it just simply works. I can't stress that enough. Like, the app works so well. Not only can you control an individual light or control groups of lights, but you can also set quick shot scenes to speed up your workflow even more. And of course, one of the main ways I would use this light is like I'm using it right now, as a key light. And for that, I think it works so well. It's for reasons like this that I think this light is super powerful for content creators. Now, as cool as this light is, you really won't be able to get the most out of it if you don't know the proper techniques or how to even light your videos well. That's why I created my course. Learn video lighting. I remember when I was trying to learn lighting and it just seemed so complex and hard and difficult and like it was only for the pros. And that's really why I made this course. I wanted to make lighting more approachable and more easy to understand, especially for beginners and aspiring creators. Whether you're a freelance videographer looking to do client work or a content creator looking to make awesome YouTube videos, this course will help you learn how to leverage light to your advantage so that you can go further faster. So if you're interested in checking it out, you can go to learnvideolighting.com. So as awesome as this light is, I do think there's still just a couple of cons, at least in my opinion. First and foremost, what I would consider the biggest con of this light is there is no fan control. The light has a built-in fan, which is awesome, and overall it's actually pretty quiet, which is good. But you can't just choose to not have the fan. I've used other lights where if you choose to disable the fan, it will just limit the output. And I wish I had that option just to for sure be like, no fan, because sometimes if you're recording certain audio, you just want as little noise as possible. But with this light, the fan sort of like auto regulates, so you can't really control that. The other con that I'll mention is the screen on the back of the light. It's just not the brightest, and in the past I've had lights that have full color displays, which are really nice because it gives you just another communication of being able to easily see what your settings are. The light is so bright, right? So if you place a big softbox lantern on it, for example, and you are cranking it up, that's a really bright light source. Well, if you go back behind the light to look at it and see the screen and your settings, it's kind of hard to see because the light is so bright. So I think that's one con that I wish was a little bit nicer. Now, it's not the biggest thing in the world because of the app. Most of the time you'll be using the app. You may be further away from the light, whatever, and that will give you all the information you need, which is great and it works really well. But for those times where you don't have your phone on you or you just want to do something really fast, I do still wish the screen was a little bit nicer. So here's my final thoughts on the light. I think it's amazing. I think it's a super high quality light for content creators, freelance videographers, filmmakers. Like, it's one of the most versatile lights ever because it's so bright. It has all the RGB effects. It's got the bowens mount, so you can really do a ton of stuff with it. I mean, to me, it's just like a one-stop shop. Like, this light will do anything you need it to. When it comes to price, the light is around $550. To me, that price is fair. Like, this light is super strong, super pro, does a ton of great stuff. I think it's well worth the money. Because it is a little bit more expensive, I would say this is definitely not necessarily for a beginner content creator. It's not that you can't get this light if you're a beginner. I just don't think you're going to get the most out of it, and you could definitely get something cheaper to learn on. But I do think that this light is for serious content creators, especially creators that need to get, well, creative. Because this light is so versatile, it will allow you to do so many different things. It also just makes doing different things more convenient. So if you stumbled upon this video and maybe this light is just a little bit out of the price range, I've actually put together a list of other lights that range from $0 to $500 that I think are really strong key light options for creators. You can check that out right here. I placed links to this light and all the products in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and as always, stay creative. Peace.